Are you a conscious reality creator attempting to follow your inner guidance and realizing the inner guidance is doing something different than your habits and conditioning and plans that you've been designing with your analytical mind? The idea there is that the analytical mind is not necessarily in alignment with the inner guidance, and the inner guidance may not actually be the higher self speaking. It may be the analytical mind, and you may be confusing the two. So the first thing to emphasize is inner guidance is a feeling. And so it's not the information or the idea, but the way the idea feels. And when that idea feels aligned, harmonious, these are clues, indicators that it could be from infinite intelligence. It could be from your inner guidance. And so then the idea is when you're making a plan and moving forward, sometimes there's a straightest path, like the most simple 1, 2, 3, 4, and we're generally taught to do things in an order and to achieve things in a certain way, especially in school. And sometimes the higher self knows a path that might be more effective, that may be in a different order. Maybe instead of it being the shorter line that has resistance, there's a windier path that has less resistance. It's more enjoyable, and it will teach you the things that you may be missing if you tried to take on the more direct path. So the idea is, if you're having focus on a certain subject and now your inner guidance or your inspiration is like guiding you in a different direction, instead of resisting it and forcing yourself back to the original focus, to perhaps trust the inner guidance and allow yourself to go with the new inspired direction, to allow yourself to weave with it, that maybe there's a more effective path than the one you know. Maybe it's guiding you to a desire that you didn't really realize you had. And so it's taking you through a path that will get you there, so you can then acknowledge that preference and that desire. And so the idea is then to allow yourself to modify your plans to then move with the higher self, and to allow yourself to shift and flow in that way. And one of the ways by doing that is to constantly come back to alignment, constantly come back to the present moment, and re-download the new plan from the higher self moment to moment, over and over and over again, so you can learn to trust it over the analytical mind. What happened for me was my analytical mind eventually learned that the higher self, the inner guidance, the full body yes, the sacral response inside, the heart leading, this yes turned out to be more effective than the pros and cons and analyzing that my analytical mind was doing. And so once the analytical mind realized and learned that the higher self, the inner guidance, knows the more effective path, that it now started telling me, oh yeah, you probably want to check in and get the information that way. So that's what can play out as you navigate through this path and allow the skill of trusting your inner guidance and the skill of communicating with your inner guidance to develop and become an unconscious competence. So my name's Kent Peterson. I love helping people out with this. I've even made a mini book on inner guidance and trusting inner guidance. It's available at my Gumroad Linktree. So you guys can check that out, and there'll be a link available for that.